You guys ready for the next speaker? Okay, so this man was an undercover narcotics officer. And one week he had a gun put to his head 3 times by the opponents. It wasn't role play. It wasn't how do you take a gun out of somebody's hand on a mat. These are real life situations where he had a gun put to his head 3 times in 1 week. And you know what he said to himself? Do you know what he said? They don't pay me enough for this. I think he was knocking down $60,000 a year in Florida, in Miami or wherever he was. And he's like, it is not worth it. So you know what he did? He got his real estate license, right? And then he became very successful, built a huge team in Broward County. And then EXP knocks him on the shoulder and says, hey, check this model out. He immediately got it. Built a huge organization, over 1,800 agents and brokers, and he's just got the most successful business. Then EXP, Glenn, goes, I think you need to be the vice president of my company. Tapped him on the shoulder, became the vice president of EXP, did that for years. Then he retired because of rev share and all that. Now he's just back in normal old, like with the rest of us. But he and his wife go, let's build a little production team for fun. Now they sell hundreds of homes every year, maybe 300-400, I don't know. It's a crazy number. And they're just on fire. They're lighting the world on fire. We love him. Help me welcome to the stage, Chris Bear, everybody. Give him a hand. Woo! We invited Kristen up. Kristen's like, I don't want to be on the stage. So we did not leave Kristen out. She didn't want that. Good to see you.
Wow, welcome everybody. Has this been an amazing 2 days or what? I'm telling you, one thing my wife and I have always made the priority is getting in the room at these events. And this month is our 6-year anniversary at EXP. And if I have to give you one piece of advice for our success and how we've been able to accomplish this, is don't miss these events. Right? Who we surround ourselves with is who we become, right? So everybody here is to make sure you're at EXPCon, you're at Cabo, whatever we're doing, you need to be in the room. All right, so here is my amazing family, and I pleaded and begged for my wife to get up on stage with me, and she was like, nope, no way. Put her on a Zoom, she's phenomenal, thousands of people, no problem. On stage, I'm the one that gets to just, make an idiot out of myself and make you guys laugh, right? So my wife, Kristen, runs a mega icon team in Florida. We'll do about 600 home sales this year. Sounds crazy, right? It is crazy. Oh my gosh. And those are 2 amazing kids. And our biggest priority now in life is time and time management. The older we get, the less time we have. Can anybody relate? Does anybody? No matter how much money you make, what can you not buy back? Time, right? So we've been able to build our companies, our revenue share groups just phenomenally and be able to do what we want to do in our life. And today we're going to be talking about what we kind of use as our benchmark for success. I hope this motivates a few people. So we got to get going. They only gave me 15 minutes. Who knows me in this room? I know a lot of you do, right? 15 minutes is not long for Chris Bear, right? So we got to get going. I got to get speaking here. So 100% of success starts with opportunities, right? So we've got to remember, everybody in this room has a massive opportunity here at EXP. You're already here. Now, when we're talking attraction and recruiting and we're sitting down with agents, it's important for us to help them understand what their opportunities currently are at their current brokerages. And I will tell you that number, when you get going down the list, is typically very small. The real estate industry has never typically had large opportunities for the agent, right? It's always been the franchise owners, the brokers, this and that, but it wasn't the agent. So we got to make sure that we're in a place for opportunity if we want to be successful. We then have to understand that 100% of opportunity starts with choices. Now, who is not with EXP in this room? Is there anybody in this room not with EXP? You can raise your hand. It's okay. Okay, so you can make the choice now to step in to the opportunity, right? We have to make a choice of what we're going to do. Now, I've been trying to lose like 25 pounds for, I don't know, you're laughing, Amy, for a couple years now, right? It just doesn't happen. And I try to like reverse engineer, what are you doing wrong, Chris? Why can't you lose this weight? Well, this is one of the choices that I make quite often, and it is not helping, right, at all to lose weight. But I love ice cream. Anybody else love ice cream? That's a banana split, and yes, that's for me. I do not share. 100% of our destiny, though, is based off of our decisions. We have to know where we want to go, where we want to be, and it's not today. You know, my wife and I, we plan out 5 years, 10 years, and we start making the right decisions to get us to where we want to go. Now, some people can say that the real estate market is tough right now, but I want you to think for just 1 minute. Think about your market for sales, and think of someone that's selling 100 homes, 200 homes, 500 homes a year, and then you have an agent in that market not selling any homes. Now, why is that? It's the same market. They can be at the same company. It's the same economy. It's the same interest rates. It's the same president, right? Let's go down the list. One's making different decisions with the same choices that we all have. I probably won't be the one on the left, but same age, different choices, right? Different decisions. And does everybody know businesses that look like this too? Right? We all do. Yeah, absolutely. It's in our moments of decision that our destiny is shaped. Now, we've had a lot of laughter here. I love laughing. If you guys know me, I like to have a good time, right? If we're not having fun, let's not be here. And that's why I loved EXP so much when Brent and Rob and Gene said, we're making real estate fun again. And I said, wait, there's fun in this? If there's fun, I'm in. And that's what we need to do, right? Because life is too short. But I want to tell you a really serious story here, and one that really opened my eyes and my wife's eyes to not just business, but how to really understand people. Who would love to learn how to win people over right now? Is that a good like skill to have when you're in real estate? Absolutely, for growth or for sales. So let me share this story with you. Hopefully the slides are going to work because it's not supposed to be blank, but we'll move on. There we go. Massive action. We got to take massive action. That should have been before, but we're good. Okay. So what limiting beliefs are you using to make decisions? Now, when we say massive action, we all understand after we make a decision, we have to do something, right? There's two birds sitting on a power line. One decides to fly away. How many are left? 2. I heard some people say 2. Right, a decision isn't an action. So we've got to make sure that we take massive action. So I want everybody to meet Zach Johnson. So this was about 5 years ago when I decided I wanted to become a pilot. So I signed up for flight school. Super cool. I meet this kid, 18 years old, and he's my flight instructor. Couple things happens. What happens when you put an EXP agent in an airplane with someone for 50 hours? Yeah, he got his real estate license and joined EXP. There's a little recruiting tip for anybody out here. Sign up for your pilot. They can't get out of the plane once you're in the air, okay? I learned that real quick. You're stuck with me. So Zach was 18 years old, and I got to hurry up. This timer's going down. Zach was 18 years old, had his whole life, probably one of the smartest kids. I mean, just absolutely brilliant, in great shape. We became very close friends, became close with our family. He calls me one day and says, Chris, I have cancer. Now, that's not the first time I've gotten a call from a friend, but not that young. Not in that great a shape. And I said, is it bad? And he said, yeah, it's pretty bad. So I said, all right. I said, hey, when you lose your hair, I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to support you. Right? Chris Bear always wants to do something for someone. So great. He says, hey, you don't have to do that. I said, no, I'm going to do it. So I go home excited, tell my wife, hey, honey, like not excited he's got cancer, but excited that I'm going to support him, that I'm going to shave my head. Zach's got cancer when he goes through it. My wife's at first like, okay, I understand. This is why I love my wife. She goes, can you just talk to me first before you make big decisions on things? And I said, well, it's my hair. And you know what she said? Well, I'm going to shave my head too. And I said, well, babe, can we talk about it? She goes, it's my hair. And I said, baby, I will talk to you about everything before I make a decision like this, right? Come on, give it up for my wife. She's a powerhouse. So our son at the time, who's 8 years old, is obsessed with his hair. This was after a basketball game. Look at how perfect that is, okay? So he hears mom and dad talking. He walks up and he's like, well, I would never shave my head. I don't know why you're doing that, Dad. And remember, Zach's very close to all of us. I said, son, we're supporting Zach. I said, he doesn't want to, lose his hair, go through this too. And he goes, no, I would never do it. So I said, you know what? Just get out of here. No one's talking to you. You ever have those kid moments? So he walks away. I said to my wife, I said, honey, are we raising Lucifer? I mean, I thought we were like a good Christian family. We're teaching morals. And this kid's just like off with his head, right? So we're kind of upset, and we're talking back and forth about it. So a little time goes by, and Elijah comes back out of his room. He says, Mom and Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? I say, absolutely, son. What's going on? Well, I'm going to shave my head. It's like, thank you, God, right? One thing I've learned in parenting, and we should all learn when we're talking with agents, is ask questions. I failed as a parent to ask him the question when he said, I would never shave my head, as of, why? I said, son, what changed your mind? I mean, of course, you've got great parents. That's probably why. And he said, I went on YouTube Kids and I found out the hair grows back. Now, guys, there's something very important in that lesson. Okay, perception equals reality. And here in a minute, I'm going to share with you the 4 keys to success of winning people over. We have to understand not everybody understands the reality how we see it. If I would have asked the right questions, son, why don't you want to shave your head? Well, it won't grow back. Well, yes, it will. Sometimes we need to learn to ask the right questions when we're sitting down with another agent. What are their fears? What are their motives? What is the limiting beliefs that they're believing that just isn't factual? Now, here's another great parenting fail. First, here's a great picture. Here's all of us with our hair shaved. There's Zach. Great news, Zach has fully recovered. Absolutely phenomenal. He's flying jets around the world now. Just an amazing individual, amazing soul, and he's still a member of EXP. Absolutely love that guy right there. One thing I forgot to tell my son, too, is, hey, son, when you get your head shaved, some people might think you're dying. And I'll never forget, as soon as we walked out of the barbershop, we literally were walking to the car, and this lady comes running up. Oh, my God, son, come here. And she starts praying in tongues. Hands are going up. The devil's being cursed out. And that was another moment I realized I failed as a father. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and I went, sometimes kids have to grow up, right? He had to figure it out. So let's talk about the 4 equations for winning people over. P equals R. Perception equals reality. What is the perception that you're giving agents? What perceptions do they have in your market? What false perceptions do they maybe have about EXP or about you? Listen, guys. It's our job to ask the right questions. If we start asking the right questions, we can what? We can give the right answers. But we have to know. E is greater than F. I love this one. Emotions trump facts. Has anyone ever dealt with an emotional real estate agent on the other side of a sale? I mean, it doesn't happen, right? Have you ever dealt with an emotional agent or broker that's moving their entire company over to EXP, and this is a very trying time for them? Love you, Michael. Guys, remember, in the times of emotions, we don't need to be giving facts. These are the times that we go, yes, oh my gosh, we're gonna fix this, right? Because no matter what you say in those moments, it won't be heard. If we can learn to master this, I'm telling you, your lives will change forever professionally and personally. S equals B plus. Success comes from being positive. Do you know any successful people that aren't positive? If you really think about it. I mean, I could think of multiple in my life right now. They're all positive. We need to make sure that we are being fed, right, from the people in our circle that are positive, that are encouraging us, that if we're having a bad day, we have someone that we can call. Does everybody have someone that you can call? Listen, accountability partners, don't make them your spouse. You ever hear that one? There's another great point right there. Find someone else. 3P equals HC. Now, for years, Rob Flick has been teaching this. Brent, Gove, Gene Frederick. Guys, this is the most powerful piece of attraction. Third parties translate into higher credibility. Now, I know some of us want to give all the answers. I know some of us, we have all the answers. But I actually prefer the builders in my group that don't have the answers. Because what they've become masters of is being the best connector. And once you can learn to be the best connector, and you can learn how to transfer someone to another person the proper way, and get them to share the opportunities and to build you up, a couple things happen. First of all, your life becomes easier. Everybody okay with that? You get some minutes back in your day. And secondly, the third-party credibility is all they need to close to get over here to EXP. Let's all, if we take one thing away from this, please, reach out to your upline. They're here to support you. They're here to help you. Get to know them. This is what my wife and I did for day one. And when you meet agents, figure out where they are, who they're going to connect best with, and get them in the ring with you. And your organizations will grow phenomenally. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it.